it up one more time for Alon. So funny. Hear that, Alon? They love you. I love him. There's a lot to love. He's so lovable. Okay, guys. I hate when white people talk in Spanglish and attempts to sound cool because I don't speak Spanish at all, so it just makes me look like an idiot. Like the other day, everybody was like, hey man, I'll pick you up 8 p.m. mañana. Sure, mañana. That sounds awesome. Meanwhile, I have to clear my schedule for the next 2.5 weeks because I have no idea what the hell mañana is. Apparently it means tomorrow, but what if it had been a fortnight? So what I like to do is just speak in my own bilinguals. So what I've done is chosen the chosen language of my chosen people. So now I speak in Hebrew. The only problem with that is I don't speak Hebrew, but neither does anyone else, so it really doesn't matter. I'm just chilling with my friends like, hey guys, you want to go back to my place? Like, sure, that sounds awesome. I mean, I was just joking about lighting your car on fire, but if you insist, who am I to judge? If you really want to mess with someone talking Spanglish, which is a mixture of Spanish and Hebrew, the only problem with that is the only thing I can say in that language is shalom por favor, which means hello please. So then I ended up sounding lonely in like 3 languages. I'm single now, ladies, or feminine looking gentlemen. The thing I've noticed about being single is that I'm kind of a loser. I've realized this because I'll be on a first date with a girl and she'll be like, oh, so what you do today? And I'm like, oh boy. I played like the longest game of Mario Party 8 you could ever imagine. And then my roommate and I watched this Discovery Channel documentary called Tyrannosaurus Sex, about how dinosaurs have sex. Oh, it was so cool. Like, that's interesting, I like dinosaurs. I'm like, I love dinosaurs, which one's your favorite? Mine's Aerodactyl, I know it's a Pokemon, but I still like to count it. You realize that a lot of dinosaurs have members the size of Joshua trees? She's like, I don't even know what a Joshua tree looks like. And I'm like, a dinosaur penis. Haven't you paying attention at all? I'll have the chicken fingers and the macaroni and cheese, and she'll have a side salad. Yeah, and can you make it quick? Dexter's not going to watch itself. So, I actually don't believe that dinosaurs ever existed, at least the way that scientists say they do. Like, I think scientists found fossils, then amped them up a lot. Because they're like way too badass to have ever been a thing. Like, think about it. Like, we found part of a turtle, spikes all over its back, and then a tail, spikes. We found what looks like a rhinoceros with 1 horn. Well, dude, let's give it 3 horns and then a mane of horns. What are you gonna call it? Triceratops! We created what could quite possibly be the most deadly creature of all time. No one's gonna believe it. It's too cool. We gotta give it some sort of weakness. Tiny hands. Tiny hands. Speaking of dinosaurs, I don't smoke weed. But a lot of my friends do. And the thing about smoking weed with when all my friends do is that I miss out on a lot of interesting conversations. And like I can't really relate sometimes. Like I'll be talking to my friend like, hey, so what did you do today? And he's like, oh my god, dude, I had the best day ever. I'm like, oh, that's awesome, what'd you do? Well, I got high and I got a bagel. I'm like, really? Out of all your days, that's the best one. And like my friends who have smoked weed are like, oh my god, what kind of bagel? She's like, that's the coolest day ever. It's so much fun, and the good day sounds awesome. I couldn't get open, there was no time. I just had to drink it as it was, and I got no water, it was completely useless. I'm back at square one. I was hanging out with this girl after a show one time, and she was like, boy, you're mad funny. And I was like, I don't consider myself an angry comic. And she's like, no, mad nowadays means really. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then she was like, and then I said, screw off, Cooter Cookie. And that means thanks for being my #1 fan. And then we made love for hours. I'm just kidding about the we made love for hours part. It's just like after that joke about me being single, I didn't want ladies to think that I'm not getting laid that often. So I want to go back one time and change all of my punchlines to then we made love for hours. Like tiny hands, and then we made love for hours. Speaking about making love, my roommates watch a lot of basketball. So I started watching a lot of basketball, and I'm pretty sure the NBA was just invented by the government to keep track of all the superhumans. Because like, have you ever heard anyone talk about a basketball player? It's crazy. They're like, oh yeah, he's 6'11", 350 pounds. I'm sorry, you're talking about the athlete or the vehicle in which they arrive. massive and light. Like, you realize that if the NBA players all got together, they could just destroy entire cities. You don't even need to be the entire NBA. Like, if the Heat and the Magic just decided to discuss it after a game, they could be like, hey man, you want to go play real life Rampage? LeBron, jump on my back and let's push over this building. It's cool, I'd rather vertically jump onto this McDonald's and destroy it. I have a lot of dreams and a lot of aspirations. And one of my dreams is to become the world's craziest person and like get in the Guinness Book of World Records for the world's craziest person. And I know what you're thinking, Mr. Rothstein, that's easy, okay? All you have to do is superimpose your face onto all the Playboy calendar girls' breasts and send all those calendars to the Guinness Book of World Records. But that's what they're thinking, and that's what everyone's thinking, and it's too logical. So what I've done is something better. I'm gonna call Guinness and be like, I have the world's tallest man in my house. And the reason you haven't seen him before is that because we believe in witchcraft and we assumed he was a troll. But thanks to modern medicine, we now know otherwise. So Guinness is going to come to my house and they're going to bring like the world's tallest woman, and the world's shortest person, and the world's everything. And they're going to come to my house with all the reporters, and then I'm going to walk outside and be like, ladies and gentlemen, do not be alarmed by my gargantuan size. If need be, call me Joshua Tree. Would Pocahontas like to ask me any questions? And someone's most likely going to be like, but that was a pussy willow. And I'm like, I call all trees Joshua. Then I'm going to rip my shirt off, go to the judge, and be like, I'm here to be the judge for the world's smallest nipples, because my nipples are dimes. And I will win that for fact. And then, years from now, people will be talking about it, like, oh man, you know that astronaut that wore a diaper and drove like hundreds of miles to kill her boyfriend? She was nothing compared to this guy. He was only 6'1", and he thought he was the world's tallest man. Sir, do you, or ma'am, do you believe that I'm 6'1"?
Absolutely not.
Okay, good, because I say that shit just clowning, dog. How fucked up is you? Give it in, stand, line 3, verse 4, Marshall Mathers LP. Bet you when you heard that 11 years ago, you weren't thinking, I'm going to see that at a comedy show. Your mind's been blown. Okay, guys, I have one more joke for you guys, and then I'm going to head out. So the hardest part about being a comedian, I'd say, is like writing new material. So this joke I just wrote this morning, so you probably haven't heard it before unless, no, there's just no way. Okay, so here goes. I hate it when white people talk in Spanglish and attempts to sound cool. I don't speak Spanish at all, and then we made love for hours. Thanks guys, here's